Ryan Little.
This is OG with Building Greatness, and I have here today, I have a very special guest, Kwanzaa Mama, one of the community leaders, does a lot in the community, does a lot for Genesis. She has her own show as well. She had me on her show not too long ago. I'm great to have her on my show. It's an honor. I've been really wanting to get an interview with her for so long, and I know she's laughing at me, but that's all right. But today we're really gonna talk about her and what she does and the impact she has. Hold on a second, on our community and the impact she had on me, and the reason why I always wanted her on my show. So before we do that, I want to give a very special thanks out to Genesis Radio, Dutchie Bang. What's up, Dutchie?
What's up?
I want to still send my prayers, healing prayers out to Terry Pickering, and hope he's getting well, getting better, stay strong, and we look forward to you healing up and getting back in the groove. I want to thank all the people who make it happen here at Building Greatness, staying tuned, keeping me focused, saying, listen, we want you to come back. So, I do this in dedication to you. So today we're going to talk about Kwanzaa Mama, some of the things she does, and we'll let her explain her own story. But right now, I just want to introduce you, the beautiful Kwanzaa Mama.
Oh, hi. I was listening so hard, I didn't realize it was time for me to speak. Hey, out there. I hope everybody's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Hope everybody found their relatives in different parts of the world that are affected by storms and other things. So hope everybody's safe in your family.
Yeah.
And we give thanks for us being able to be here today.
Yes.
In good health and good spirits. So,
absolutely.
you want to know about my name?
Huh?
What do you want to know about me? Ask me questions.
I want to know how you came with the name Kwanzaa Mama.
Okay.
Did people start calling you that, or was that something that...
I used to do Kwanzaa a lot when I was in New York. I did Kwanzaa everywhere I worked.
What does Kwanzaa mean?
Okay, Kwanzaa is a Kiswahili word. I know people say Swahili, but the real term is Kiswahili. K-I-W-S-W-A... Oh, Lord have mercy. S-W-A-H-I-L-I. But it starts with a K-I. And, of course, you know how everybody, in especially European-dominated cultures, they like to shorten everything. Mm-hmm. So they shorten it to Swahili, but it's really Kiswahili.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kwanzaa is a word that represents the first fruits of the harvest. It's a harvest term. Mm-hmm. And so Dr. Maulana Karenga adopted that and added an A. So instead of K-W-A-N-Z-A, in our culture, the holiday is K-W-A-N-Z-A-A. And the way I tell folks to remember is the A-A is for African American.
Okay.
So that's an easy way to remember that it has AA.
Okay.
But it's really a celebration. In Africa, it's a celebration of the harvest time.
Right.
It's like a festival, harvest festival.
Right.
But in our holiday, the African American version of it, it's a celebration of culture, of accomplishments.
Right.
And Kwanzaa has nothing to do with religion.
Right.
That was the great thing. I always tell the story about all the folks fighting each other at one point in our culture, when mostly everybody, I guess, were forced into Christianity, and so they had to just be Christians.
Right.
And as people started interacting with other people from other parts of the world, they started finding out, there's other stuff we can be. Mm-hmm. And so the young people, of course, being young and open, they wanted to explore these things, and families were falling apart.
Right.
Because grandma was saying, "Oh my God, they're gonna die! They're going straight to hell!" And I want my family in the rapture. And they were talking and folks were fighting. And so when it came time for the holidays in December, a lot of the young people no longer celebrated Christmas because it's a Christian holiday.
Right.
And so the grandparents were like having a tizzy fit, you know. So Kwanzaa eliminates all of that.
Right.
Everybody can celebrate Kwanzaa.
Right.
No matter what your religion.
Right.
Because it's about family and it's about community. And
Right.
it's about looking at our journey here in, well, I can't use that word because nobody knows what I mean, in the West. And it's about our journey here and how far we have come, what we have overcome, where we're going.
Right.
Helping the young people to connect with the past and to look at the present and how we can help them go forward in the future.
Oh, wow. Well, that's something you're doing. You're doing a lot of that so far. You do the Juneteenth festival. You're involved in a lot of the events that go on here in the East Stroudsburg area and more to Monroe County. So, you know, like I said, you're doing that, so I guess you represent Kwanzaa in your way, and you're holding to the principles of Kwanzaa.
Oh yeah, I have to adhere to those principles. Well, I created Kwanzaa Mama because it used to be Mama Kwanzaa.
Right.
And you know, back in a while ago, for the young folks, don't know, a while ago, everybody was Mama this, Baba that,
Right.
Papa this,
Yes.
right? And so it was Mama Kwanzaa.
Right.
Then people started naming their children Kwanzaa.
Right. Yeah.
And so, and so that was a name, right? So then the older women are being called Mama Kwanzaa.
Right.
And you can't tell them that they can't say that.
Right.
So I branded Kwanzaa Mama. Kwanzaa Mama is different from Mama Kwanzaa,
Right.
even though it's the same, just reversed.
Well, that's a good thing. Like I say, you represent it, and that's really what matters, is because you represent the principles. Because, you know, I practice Kwanzaa too, as a lifestyle as well as a holiday, you know, and, you know, I enjoy celebrating the principles. I'm all about community. I'm all about bringing people together, you know, collective economics, collective work. That's what I'm all about. 100% of me is about that. And that's what I honor in you. That's what I honor in Genesis Radio, and the things that we do is being involved. And I see that you're involved, and that's what makes the difference, you know.
Ashe.
So,
What else do you want to know?
so,
There's so much in my head.
so what's the name of your show that comes on?
Oh, Speak Out with Kwanzaa Mama airs on Genesis Radio, .com right here
Right.
in the same studio, Saturdays at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11. So 1 hour show.
Right.
It's pretty eclectic. Whatever spirit sends me, that's what goes.
Right.
I'm an information specialist. I have a license and I earned a master's in information systems
Right.
at Syracuse University. So I'm always very, how would I say, I'm a stickler for having accurate information,
Right.
and I'm a stickler for providing resources to folks for whatever topic I'm talking. I'm going to research it, no matter what it is.
Right. Right.
So folks are saying, well, why you have paper in front of it? Well, because I researched, and I want to be accurate.
Right.
I don't want to fly off the top of my head. I have a whole lot in this brain, and I don't want to fly off the top of my head and say stuff, you know, that's might be sort of accurate, but not quite so accurate.
Right.
So I like to have paper in front of me so I can refer.
Right.
And then if we get off topic, I need to be able to bring everybody back to topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then the paper helps. You know, I tell folks all the time, all those folks you see on television who look like they blah, 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 no, they have a teleprompter, darling.
Right. Right.
That's a screen in front of them.
Yes.
They're scrolling. They pre-wrote all that stuff. Sometimes they go off, but they come back.
Right.
They pre-wrote all that stuff, and it's rolling in front of them.
Yeah.
So they're not that on target, like, you know, people think, but you know, they're good at what they do. So.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the basic fundamentals of building greatness, which is my show, is you know, is bringing information to the table to share so that people can find the right resources and can get the right, be led to the right people and the right things in life that are going to help them grow. And that's how we're great, because it's not a self-centered thing. It's actually, we give each other this energy, and we give each other these building blocks, whether it be a lesson, good or bad. And everybody that we meet in our lives has one of these building blocks. But there are certain people in the community that put those building blocks together and, create like platforms for other people, or you're guiding other people towards the greater things that can be done in their life. I can't determine what's good for everybody, but I just think collective work should be the foundation of our efforts.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that the principles of Kwanzaa, like the first principle is unity. And folks always think that that's an external thing.
Right.
It's extrinsic, but it actually begins intrinsically. So you have to unify within yourself, body, mind, and spirit, and then share that light with other people.
Right.
And then it will manifest externally in your dealings with others, etc.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to meet everyone who's going to automatically love you and embrace you and
right
and be unified with you.
Right.
But as long as you know what you're about and you're unified within yourself, and that's why it's so important to have the backstory of our ancestors.
Right.
So that we won't. I heard somebody make a statement the other day. We came here with nothing.
Right.
And I had to go talk to them. I had to say, no, we didn't.
Right. Exactly.
So. Things like that. If you don't have the backstory for your backstory for your people, generation upon generation, as much as you can.
Right.
If you don't know the backstory, people can come and fool you and tell you anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So tomfoolery, and Jane too. So what I like to do is I like to learn a little bit about everybody's story and history.
Right.
So that when people come at me and say negative stuff about my people,
right,
I can just tell them, well, that's just like when your folks did blah blah blah.
Right. Right.
Or that's like when blah 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 happened to your folks. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I
understand.
If
you don't know, then you can't counter.
Right.
You can't respond positively. You get all ashamed.
Right.
And these folks like to use that collective. This is my term. I'm telling y'all, this is my term. Collective blame, collective shame syndrome.
Right.
Okay, we suffer from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay? Collective blame. From the day they met us, if one of us did something wrong, everybody got punished.
Right.
Everybody got blamed.
Right.
Everybody got put down.
Yes.
Okay, and so they instill in us collective shame.
Right.
So, automatically, even today, I noticed that some people say, "Oh, I'm so ashamed because so and so did so and so," and I'm like, "Why? That's not you."
Right. That's not your business.
That's not you doing that. That's that person.
Right.
And that might be out of 1,000 of us. That's one person.
Absolutely.
Out of millions of us, that's one person.
Right.
So why is it that the other folks have to feel ashamed because one person did something?
Yeah. Well, I would just say basically what you have is that you just have a lot of uneducated people on the real facts of life. And sometimes it's not a comeback, or it's not an offense that we come back with. It's actually a lesson that can be learned and should be taken note of. I don't think of it as a strike. I think that there are the majority of people are unaware of history itself, and it's very hard to digest. I understand why, you know what I mean, for anybody, even for the average person, whether it be, to understand what you're doing in life and understand where you're coming from, understand the religion you're basing, everything is hard to digest the truth. And so therefore, sometimes you got to slip in little things here and there to little seeds and stuff like that to plant in people's minds, help them grow a little bit. And if they don't want to grow, that's not your job. Your job is to plant the seed, and the universe will let it grow. So,
yeah.
So.
Well, if people want it to let it grow, it will.
Right.
If if they don't, but it's still there.
Right,
And
absolutely.
so just because it didn't grow or manifest in the way that we visualize that it should manifest in that being, doesn't mean that it's not there and it's not manifesting. It might not be time for them to shine through the way we think they should, or maybe they're shining in another way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just say live and let live. You know, folks, you know, that's and the unity piece, and then you go to the self-determination piece,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing for myself to do what I have to do, but I'm also going to help others along the way.
Right.
You know, but I'm going to choose for myself what it is that I want to do with my life,
Right.
how I want to manifest divinity in my life,
Absolutely.
how I want to, you know, because there's certain things we have to do in life in order to be considered human or humane,
Absolutely.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And what are those things?
Yeah.
And how am I going to make sure that I live that,
Yeah.
truly live that?
Right.
And that's a part of self-determination,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, because you got to walk. To me, self-determination is, you know, like I said, you know, not to necessarily be, again, motivated. I'm taking this quote from someplace else. I don't believe in motivation. I believe in being driven. And in order to be driven, you got to be determined. You got to be determined, this is what I want to do. And when you're driven, nothing can stop you. There's nothing that can stand. When you're motivated, again, this is a quote from something else, that when you're motivated, it comes and goes. You know, you could lose energy, be motivated, then the next day you might not be. When you're driven, it's based inside your determination, based inside your soul, and it's a fire that you can't put out, you know, and so that's why I say, you know, determination is so important, especially self-determination, because nobody else in the world, in the universe, is going to motivate you. It's up to you, you know, to make it happen. Ashe, and that's important for the fundamentals of Kwanzaa and of life. I just think Kwanzaa are the principles of all life, even though it is based out of African American culture and our African culture. I think everybody on the planet could use it.
Well, I have friends who are from different cultures who do celebrate Kwanzaa.
Me too. Yeah, I do too.
And I remember the first time one of my friends who was from another culture said to me, "I'm going to celebrate Kwanzaa this year." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because if everybody lived like this, the world would be such a beautiful place." And I said, "Okay." I was like this, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and some folks were like, "Well, that's our holiday, and they take everything from us, and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, listen, understanding. If their children grow up understanding,
we change the world.
if their children, if they can teach their children this is an African American thing, that's great. Okay, the media puts out so much negative stuff.
Right, and it's not the media too; it's people too. People.
Well, they perpetuated a lot. People get their stats crap from the media.
Right. But we are the media too, so
telephone, right? Yeah. But I was just very supportive of this person,
right?
Because I understand the paying it forward thing. She's not celebrating it as a European holiday. She's celebrating it as an African American holiday,
right?
And she's teaching her children about this African American thing. That's awesome.
Yes.
And so she's giving credit, and they study African American history. They study about people, great African Americans who did stuff.
Yeah, but that's important.
I feel that's, you know, if they don't know, a lot of the issues we have right now is because people don't know.
Yeah, and people don't know about themselves as well. So their relationship to, for instance, if somebody else's culture, your relationship to that person's culture is very important. You know what I mean? It's almost like in Brazil or maybe South America or something. They celebrate or they practice. I'm gonna just use this, even though I don't get into religion. They might celebrate a form of Yoruba and call it something else. So we're going to get back to this conversation. We're just going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back to this conversation. I think it's important we continue this conversation. It's very important.
Go through the 7 principles, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we're up to 2.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Look,
principle number 2.
We got time.
You
know, we'll spin through it. But the main thing is that we keep people, educated, and that's one of the things that you represent. So we're going to come back to that. Just hold out for a minute, and we'll be back. Facebook Live, we'll be live still until we come back to our show.
Okay. Yeah, I have to remember that.
3 minutes, okay?
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Over and out. We'll be right back. Me and Kwanzaa Mama and I will be right back. 3 minutes. Okay. Ashe. You're still live, so.
Oh, I'm still live.
On the
Okay.
camera. I'm just going to
What am I
adjust this.
supposed to be doing?
Huh?
What am I supposed to be doing?
No, I'm just adjusting cameras while we're doing this because I want you to be seen in this. Okay, good. Perfect. There we go. All right. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right, now put this one on. Is this one ready? I can use this one too, right? Or it's dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be ready.
Put this one here.
I'm sitting here writing down my principles.
I know, but me.
I'll leave one out and somebody say, you didn't say so-and-so.
I know. I'll be stuck too. Don't. Trust me. I mean, I live it, but sometimes I'm not always, correct in the way I put it into order. I'm not very in the box guy. Very little out of the box.
And I'm not even using the Kiswahili words for it because
Yeah.
we're just talking about the principles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wrote them down so I'll make sure I do them all.
Okay. That's a great thing. We're about to really get into it. I just want people to understand, that that's for everybody.
Well, the principles are ancient and timeless. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't, it's not something that is unique to African Americans. It's just a holiday. That holiday is created for and by African Americans.
Right. Absolutely.
Like Dr. Karenga said, we determined for ourselves that we were going to celebrate once.
Yeah.
So he said,
And then it goes from that celebration again to a way of life. We gotta live it all the time because sometimes we get into these habits of celebrating things. But
only in December, right?
It's like, we're just gonna wait and we're gonna compare it to other holidays and wait for other holidays for us to be secure in ourselves. And I think we could do better. I think we could start really using those principles in our everyday life.
Oh yeah. When we get back on the air, I'm going to talk about a couple of the principles that my students loved. I had this group of kids for a while, and we did all of them because we did them every day in class.
Right.
But
you're live.
Oh, I'm live.
Wait, stay right there. Don't go.
Okay. He's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Are we back on air or are we just live on Facebook?
Live on Facebook.
Okay, gotcha.
My daughter's graduated from Syracuse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one this year and one, like 7 years ago.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not a bad school.
No. Yeah. So
I did my stuff off campus though. With it, a lot of people don't know about the mansion and over by Central Park, and Park Avenue in Manhattan.
yeah.
So that's where I went to classes.
Oh, okay. Nope. Didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
They would have been in the city at their grandmother's. It would have been cheaper for me.
They can't do that.
Oh.
No, we were doing the special masters.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they have to go to campus. Yeah.
Okay, because it would have been cheaper. Syracuse is no joke when it comes to finances.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
How much time we got, Dutch?
We're about to go back now.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome. We're back here. We're building greatness, and we're here with Kwanzaa Mama and myself, and we're talking about Kwanzaa and the principles that could be applied to our everyday lives, and everybody's culture could share part of this. And that's what makes Kwanzaa Mama so special, is because she is everywhere, and she does do a lot of different things, and multi-talented, multi-skilled, and is out here in the community really making the changes that we need, and represents Kwanzaa in her actions. So, back to where we were. When we talking about
Principle number 3?
Yeah.
You want to go to principle number 3? Okay, so that's, we have collective work and responsibility.
Right.
And that's a really important principle
Mm-hmm.
because it ties back to one of the proverbs from the motherland.
Right.
Each little drop fills the pot.
Yep.
So if each of us do our little bit, you know, no one person will be overworked, no one person will be overwhelmed,
Right.
no one person will be totally stressed out, because all our little pieces put together
Mm-hmm.
makes for the community to function well.
Right.
And a home, inside your home, collective work and responsibility. Everybody does their little piece,
Absolutely.
you know. That's where chores came from, folks.
Mhm.
That a lot of kids are not doing anymore. They're playing video games instead of doing chores and helping mom
Right.
and dad around the house.
Yes.
And folks, I heard a mom say, I want better for my children, so I don't want them to have to do chores.
I heard that before too.
And
It's
I'm
disappointing.
looking at her and I'm going, but the chores, the idea behind the chores is not to work the children. The idea behind the chores is to teach them how to do those things that you ask them to do. And like, that's the whole idea
Right.
behind the chores, right? Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Building character and
Yeah,
building.
and taking responsibility.
Yes.
And making a schedule and being able to multitask or juggle things or keep us, you know, like
Problem solve.
problem solve, all of that.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so not to have children do chores because you feel that
It's work.
it's work. Well, that's life. You got to work. You're working.
Exactly.
You know,
That's
and
it.
you're working your job and you're working the house.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
split it up, and that means you're freed up to do something that you want to do.
Absolutely.
You know, so I do believe in collective work and responsibility. Everybody taking responsibility for some piece of something
Yeah.
and getting it done.
Absolutely. And I just think when we do that, when we have this collective effort to towards any kind of goals, I think that this is the way the universe intended for us to use each other. You know, it's not about whether, again, like we get into this thing where I don't like this person. We use our differences to mean that we can't, whether it's religious differences, whether it's cultural differences, you know, we use these things to separate ourselves. And again, I see that amongst a lot of
Everybody.
people. Exactly. And I think if you apply this principle of Kwanzaa, collective work and responsibility, you're going to have, your results are going to be sevenfold. So don't be afraid to get together with people to do something productive, not just watch the game or do a show or, you know, again, like I said, that's all stuff we've been there, done that. But what we fail to do is bring ourselves together to cooperate and lift each other up and get things done, in whether it's in our community, in our world, our planet, business, a lot of things we could do, a lot of openings.
Well, I mean, there was a time when we were almost forced to do that.
Right.
You know, you couldn't survive without working with your neighbor and cooperating with your neighbor, and each of you helped each other. And you couldn't do, you know, if you needed something, you bartered.
Yes.
You know, if you needed shoes and the shoemaker needed somebody to water his garden,
Right.
then y'all would figure it out and, okay, you got to water you water my garden for a month and I'll make shoes for your whole family, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And people didn't have to worry about cash so much because they were able to use their skills and barter with each other.
Yeah, and their products, you know, because like you said,
Mm-hmm.
I could trade you like for some tomatoes, potatoes, or I could say, look, you know, you give me 20 tomatoes and I'll let you use my tiller to till the soil to make more tomato. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly, and
So-
that's how it worked
Right,
back in
right.
the day.
Yeah.
And we have gotten away from that. And you know, I think some communities are starting that. They're calling it exchange now,
Yes.
and so they're having cooperative exchanges and things like that.
Right.
And they're getting back to that because they're finding that cash is scarce.
Mm-hmm.
People are out of work, and how do they get the things they need besides breaking the law?
Yeah.
So now you're going back to bartering. You have to cooperate, you know.
Right.
And that comes into cooperative economics,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And so I'll tell you a story real quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
I used Kwanzaa in my classroom.
Okay.
And
So you were a teacher too.
oh yeah, I'm an educator. I have a master's in education.
See, yeah, we need to know this. This is all about you, you know.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't talk. I don't like talking about that stuff. But anyway, I don't. It's like, what does it mean? But those students, I had a group of students I had from 2nd grade to 5th grade. And some of them are still mad at me because I didn't go with them to 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't do junior high. I think I gave you a good foundation. You'll be all right.
Right.
But the thing that those children had was a great sense of self.
Right.
They understood that their ancestors were not running naked and Tarzan came to save them.
Absolutely.
They understood who the great empires, what the great empires, the impact the great empires had on the world.
Right.
And so they were very secure in their culture. They are to this day. They're in their 30s now.
Right.
They're very secure in their culture. So I had those children for 4 years, and one of their favorite was cooperative economics.
Right.
Now, the school used to do a fundraiser every day, 35 cents. They had these big fat pretzels,
Right.
and they would call on send 2nd grade come down, and then everybody would go down with the lid, and they would buy 5 pretzels and so on and so forth, whatever. So I would have kids crying in my classroom
Right.
because they didn't have 35 cents
Mm-hmm.
to go downstairs and buy pretzels.
Right.
And then there were several children who always had that 35 cents.
Right.
So in the lesson of cooperative economics
Mm-hmm.
was, okay, so how can we solve this using this principle?
Right.
And then, as an educator, how could I tie it into my lesson in math?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
fractions, right?
Yeah.
Decibels, fractions, same thing.
Yeah.
So they had to learn, okay, so-and-so has 10 cents.
Mm-hmm.
This one has 10 cents. This one has 5 cents. Okay, how much? What part of that pretzel will each of us get? And so we're gonna pool our monies together,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna buy this pretzel,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna share
Mm-hmm.
the pretzel, so everybody has a piece of pretzel.
Everybody has a share of the company.
There you go. So they got it,
Mhm.
you know. So after a while, when I took 6 or 7 of them to Ghana.
Right. Oh,
and,
wow.
And when they got there, they were like, wow, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Owens, how come they say that, wait, this doesn't look like the people on TV, and the flies coming down everybody's nose. Where they get that pictures from? You know? So I said, well, that's why it's good to travel, so that you get to see for yourself through your own lens. You'll be able to tell about those people. And so they laughed. So we're supposed to come back home.
Mhm.
Well, we were supposed to be there 14 days, but these children wanted to stay longer.
Right.
And so we couldn't. But so they thought it was about money. So what they do, the same principle they learned in class.
Right.
What did they do? They sat down, they got all their money spread out on the bed.
Mhm.
They did the math.
Mm-hmm.
I
the math.
I was so happy.
Mhm.
To this day, when I think about that, I said, wow. They
Mhm.
did the math. They said, okay, we have enough money to stay 2 more days. Or
Mhm.
if we pool together,
Right.
we have enough money to stay 2 more days. We can eat. If we buy this, we can eat. And they had it all worked out, and they laid it out for me. They said, well, we have a proposal for you. And they made their proposal down, and
Right.
I was cracking up. This was 3rd graders.
Yeah. But see the
I was
power
cracking up.
of that assignment and the project and the formula and the solutions you're given, the problem-solving abilities
Mm-hmm.
that are invested even in these principles, and that what that could lead to, like you said, when they're young, they're figuring out these solutions, but as they grow, they can figure out bigger solutions for bigger issues.
And apply it. They can apply the principles to their lives.
They can apply it to a business, a corporation, a collective,
Exactly.
an exchange.
Exactly.
And we have to bring back, like I know it's going, but we got to start practicing those things again. At least the community of people who want to live by those things. We can't
Exactly.
worry about the people who don't.
Exactly.
Because there are going to be a lot of people who don't, but we got to pioneer, and that's where purpose, creativity, and faith come in, because we want to live with purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. We're going to go back.
Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You're right. That's the next one.
Yeah, I would just combo, like, I'm talking them in combination.
Combo it. Go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
no, it's all good. But, you say,
No,
but purpose,
my anal self.
creativity, and faith. When we use cooperative economics, like I said, in class, in math class, in schools, they should be teaching. I know it's good to learn about geometry and calculus and all the other good things, but the main thing is that when we get out in this world, they're going to have to learn how to use money. They're going to have to learn how to use. They're going to have to learn how to use economics. Everything's based on economics. And everything's not. Even though scientifically, yes, things are based off of geometry, the shape of the table, the shape of the. You know what I mean? But not everybody's a mathematician. But we all use money. So I think the basis of math should be foundation in money. How do we use money?
Well,
how does money work?
Yeah, that's how I taught decimals.
Right.
I
Exactly.
taught decimals with money.
Yeah. See
And
what
I sent them to the store. I had a store in my classroom. And
Oh.
I sent them to shop.
Oh,
And that's how
wow.
they learned decimals. And then they had to learn decimals. They learned decimals by sharing food and things like that. So that's how they learned decimals.
Oh, we have a caller. Hold on a second.
Okay.
We have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on Building Greatness. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, good evening, Kwanzaa Mama and OG. It's Cornelia from New Jersey. How are you this evening?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing,
Hi,
Miss Wright?
Cornelia.
How you
I'm
doing?
doing well.
Thanks for tuning in
I'm
again.
doing well. And very happy to be listening to Kwanzaa Mama and some of the things that she did with her students and that she's doing now, so that she's a resource, like a wealth of resource for not only the African American community and our young people, you know, so that we know more about some of our principles and our history and the things that we contributed to society. And it's important for people to know that. It's just very, very important. I think other people are interested too. We like to know about each other's cultures. So it's very nice. I like what you're doing, and I really like the work that you do with your students. And I'm pretty sure that those principles that you instilled in them will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. And see, people like you who notice, and I don't do it for the accolades. You know, those students are now in their 30s.
Wow.
And they have children of their own. And it's so funny. We're friends on Facebook, and when they complain about their children, what their children are, I crack up, and I sometimes I respond, because that's your child.
Right. Yeah.
You remind them, you used to do the same things when you were little. But they do adhere to those principles, and they do, for the most part, I have noticed that when they write and they post on Facebook, their conversation is different than other people.
Right.
Yes, yes. And it's just beautiful the way it gets passed down. And again, not only for African American children, but also for other people, because now we're exchanging, you know, what do you do? What is your culture like? Well, you know, we're coming to a time of that, of sharing with each other. We want to be like that. I see more of that. And so it informs other people, it informs us at the same time, and great work that you're doing. And I want to thank you very much.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, for the encouragement. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wright, for tuning in, and thank you for your input and your feedback. Continue to tune in to Building Greatness. You are one of our avid listeners and responders, and I'm glad you got a chance to talk to Kwanzaa Mama, because she's, again, very key to the community up here, and she makes a lot of change. So we're going to get back to our, because we don't have a lot of time, we're going to get back to our principles.
Yes.
And tune in. Keep listening. All right?
Thank
you have
you
a good
very
night, Ms. Wright.
now.
Bye-bye.
Now have a
Bye-bye.
blessed week.
Hey, Cornelia.
That was Dutchy Bang.
She's off.
Yeah.
All right. So, talking about purpose. So, what's your purpose? And if you don't know your purpose,
Uh-oh, we got another caller. Hello, caller. This is Building Greatness. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, brother OG? And Kwanzaa Mama.
Hi.
Who is this?
Corey.
Hey, what's up, Corey? How you doing, man?
Hi, Corey.
Doing well, doing well. I just got to say one thing. Happy had this conversation come up about, youth and learning.
Could you talk a little louder?
Yeah, no problem. Sorry. One thing I have to say is that with the conversation about youth and learning is that even within youth, mid-age, and older, all right, we never stop learning. We learn new things about ourselves. We learn new things about this world, about this earth. Even though you teach, you can never stop learning.
I say.
And I appreciate everything that's being said this evening, and always know blessings and knowledge is key.
That's right.
Yeah. Knowledge yourself.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah. And Corey, go ahead.
It says, the elders used to teach us, my people are lost for a lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And so I totally agree with you when you say that knowledge is key.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And the thing is that I'm 28. I'm a young buck, all right? But there's not a day that goes by that I don't learn something new about myself and those who surround me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I take into consideration is what can I also give back from learning from that.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a family orientation too.
Mm-hmm.
If you give knowledge, you create a family atmosphere, and it's something that is priceless. Absolutely priceless.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Corey, we got to wrap it up, man. We running up, the hours upon us, and we just got to wrap this up and finish it up. I appreciate you calling in. You are important to us. You're important to Genesis family. We miss you and hope to get you back on my show sometime too. Okay?
No doubt. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Corey, for calling in and tuning in. Very important man to the station. Later.
Okay, so I see we have to go through the principles, but okay, let's talk about purpose really quickly because that's really key. When you tackle a problem, you most times if you can see your outcome or your purpose at the end, and then see what you need to do to get there, you're more successful than if you make a list of things to do and then try to get the purpose.
Right.
So purpose is a very important principle.
So that's our navigation system.
Right. So, what do I want? What am I trying to get?
Right.
I'm trying to get to this bottle of water. Okay, so how do I get there?
Right.
Okay? And so that's what we need to understand about purpose. Creativity was my students' other favorite one. And so you could hear in my classroom, you could hear them saying, I use my kuumba. I was like, go use your kuumba, figure that problem out. Use your kuumba, get in there, use your kuumba, don't get stuck, use your kuumba. And then they come back and they had, oh yes, I use my kuumba, and look, I figured it out. This is your creativity, and I did a lot of art. I didn't do anything without art, music, dance, or whatever. The arts was flourishing in my classroom.
Right.
Because I understand from my ancient ancestors, they didn't do anything without the arts.
Right.
Okay? And if you look at the chakras and all of that they're doing now, they're finding out that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, that was the ancient sound system for the chakras. Each one is attuned to a chakra, is attuned to one of those principles, but that's ancient. But anyway, that's a whole nother
show. You can come back on the show. We could get into that. I would love to have you on for more than another time, too. I would love to have you on twice.
But creativity. Thank you so much. But creativity, what's in your hands?
Right.
The power to create.
Right.
What's in your mind?
The power to create.
And in your creativity, your dreams, your creative essence, then you make new things.
Yes.
And you make things better.
Yes.
Right?
iPhones, tablets.
Whatever.
New types of cars.
Clothes. Doing your thing, being you, whatever.
A new way of teaching.
Whatever. It's all. And then in my Kumba state, I realized there's nothing really new. It's just versions of the same thing.
Right.
So you tap into that energy and your creativity is powerful. And then, of course, underpinning all of that is faith, and
Yeah.
not religious faith, but the will to believe in yourself, the
Right.
will to believe in others, the will to believe that that will succeed,
Yes.
the will to stay focused
Mhm.
so that you can troubleshoot
Mhm.
and find a different way and not give up.
Yes. And
You
faith
know?
also reminds me of the goal. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because the goal you may not tangibly be able to touch it, but you can manifest it through your journey. And having faith is knowing that tomorrow when I get up, when I set a goal for tomorrow and I get up tomorrow, then I'm going to carry out that goal. Now, whether you get tomorrow or not is up to the universe. But if you do get to tomorrow, you're going to continue on that goal, and you have to have faith that you're going to be here tomorrow. You have faith that there's going to be a tomorrow, another day. And even though we're not promised, but having faith that there is actually gets things done and sends that energy rolling forward,
That's right.
you know?
Because if we didn't have faith that we were going to be here tomorrow, nothing would happen.
Yeah, because we wouldn't plan.
Right.
We'd be like, why plan? Why prepare?
I create.
Just like that show you had about preparing. Oh, let's just have faith. I'm going to sit here and let that wave hit me. No, you got to be prepared.
Prepare.
You know?
and not only prepare, let me just talk about the other thing that our ancient ones said,
Right,
that folks give credit to other cultures for, but that's our ancient people who said this.
right.
Work. Even the word for love in our ancient way was written with a plow.
Wow.
Okay? So that's love.
Hmm.
Work. You got to work at stuff.
Right.
Okay? And what did some later folks rewrite something that we said? They left out something, but the essence of it is faith without works is dead.
Yes.
Right?
True.
So you can sit there and say you have faith, and once you move,
Right.
stuff will move with you. You'll
Yeah.
notice things. Once you make a decision, once you know your purpose, and
Right.
you make a decision, then you start noticing all the things around you that have already been there. They were there already,
Yes.
but you just didn't notice them because you didn't have a purpose for them.
Yeah.
So now you have a purpose for them. They all come together, and they bolster your faith.
And they
keep
fall right
moving.
into place.
And you keep moving.
That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
And that's what
Ashe.
building Ashe. And that's what building greatness is about. It is based in the fundamentals of Kwanzaa. That's what building greatness is. Again, like I said, I like to perform things in action rather than, talk. I let people figure it out. But since we have you here and you're based in the same thing that the show is based in, like I said, it's a great thing to be able to teach the world, Ashe.
Yeah,
Let's speak of Ashe.
I'm so sorry to the folks who are with us. I didn't explain what Ashe is. Ashe simply means Soviet.
Yeah, speak it
Okay?
into.
So if when I say Ashe it's like I'm agreeing. Yeah, that's right. Like right on. Like how
Right.
we say right on.
Yes, exactly.
Old school people say right on.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's dope. Whatever they say. What do they say now? What are they saying now?
Lit.
That's lit. Yeah. Okay. Good.
That's lit?
Thank you. Thank
Oh
you.
man, I'm out of the loop,
No,
man. If
I-
somebody
I
said
don't
I'm
even
lit,
know.
I'd be like, no, I'm not. What you talking about?
Because that's
Fresh.
Lit.
We fresh.
Oh, we fresh.
Our generation,
Was
like
fresh.
she said, Mama Kwanzaa said, the generation before yourself and I, OG,
Mm.
were funky and stuff like that.
Yeah, funky
Right.
and cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Right.
still say
And
cool.
dig it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then we got fresh,
dope.
And
dope, and what was it? Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Uh-huh.
it's lit.
Lit.
What was the other one?
And we used to when when the old folks like us said lit, we meant that people were
Yeah,
lit.
exactly.
So that's why he said no, I'm not lit.
Exactly. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's how funny how words change. The meaning of words do change over time.
Yeah.
So
But we're going to continue this. I want to have Kwanzaa Mama on again. I don't want this to be the first. I hope she comes on the show so we can do a part 2. And I'm going to also follow her and do another interview, an off-air interview, to continue talking about the conversation about some of the things she does and some of the impact she has on our community. And we're going to continue this.
okay, and if you wanted to know more about Kwanzaa Mama and Kwanzaa, there's some information. It's not a lot of information. Well, some people say it's a lot, but for me it's not a lot. KwanzaaMama.com. KWAN as in Nancy, Z as in zebra, A, M as in Mary, M as in Mary, A. KwanzaaMama.com. You can look at the website, and if you could like Kwanzaa Mama page, that would be awesome. I post every Sunday. I don't post every day. But I do post every Sunday and try to give folks an inspirational thing to do for the month. So.
Yeah. And so we're again, like I said, I'm going to put all those links right into the video as I put the links up in the pre-record, letting people know that she was coming on. All those links will be there. Please go to Kwanzaa Mama's page and check it out. These are the type of people in our community that we need, the leadership, the building blocks to building greatness. Thank you. The grind is on. Thank you. This is how we do it. We support each other. She supports me. She put me on her show, and now she's on my show. Over and out. We're having the grind coming in now with Cal. Thanks, Dutchie Bang. Terry Pickering, please get well.
Hey, yeah, Terry. Woo, woo.
All our listeners, everybody in the house, thank you. On Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook Live, and on Genesis Radio. We out of here. Over and out. Building greatness, one person at a time.
Ashe.
Ashe.